presumably one of the major problems is coming up with an explanation of why Ripley would go back,
Or Ridley.
would go back in the first place. And this you got around by establishing the whole military motif, and,
Right.
and they're going back because they're going to kick ass, basically.
If you think about it, from a story standpoint, how is the audience going to relate to this person if they put themselves needlessly into jeopardy again, when any sensible thinking person would not go back to anywhere near the damn alien if they had a choice? So I tried to approach that from a number of different questions. I mean, one way of doing it would have had her ship drift back to the planet and she's back there. I mean, that's not what the story was about. But I mean, I think there's a couple of things going on. Sure, they offer her a job, but that's not a good enough reason. They offer to protect her. That helps. They're going to give her a bunch of Marines, and so she feels relatively secure in going back. But the real reason is the cathartic psychological reason. There has to be an inner motivation that even if people don't understand it, I mean, even if people disagree with it and say, well, that wouldn't be enough for me, they at least can see a motivation for her to do that. In a way, it goes back to this kind of combat experience that people who've been in high-stress situations undergo, and it's a fairly well understood bit of human psychology, which is when you come that close to death, whatever it is, if it's a car accident or whether you're in combat, you tend to fixate on that moment in your life and just relive it over and over. And what showed up in Vietnam was that people who were there for a year would go back, even though it was the worst thing that ever happened to them.
Ron Cobb, who of course is one of your principal designers on the film, said that in the early stages you were very consciously making a Vietnam War movie in outer space.
As an element. But to me, the whole Vietnam experience was almost science fictional, in the sense that it was the first real high-tech war that was waged against an extremely low-tech enemy and lost, which to me is a very strange thing. It showed how technology didn't work, and there's an aspect of that in this film. It's like, why are we losing?